Attention older women, 99% of us lose balance because of 6 common mistakes that are totally avoidable. One slip could change everything, but fixing them is easier than you think. Stay until the end, because the final mistake is the one almost everyone overlooks, and it's the most dangerous. Our first common oversight often begins right at our feet, wearing the wrong shoes. I have a story that, even now, makes me wince a little when I recall it. It was a beautiful, crisp spring morning, one of those days where the air smells a little sweeter and the world feels fresh. I was just heading to the mailbox, wearing my absolutely favourite pair of soft, flat shoes, those simple little ballet flats I'd owned for years. They felt cute, comfortable, or at least that's what I had always believed. What I hadn't realised was that, over time, these once comfortable shoes had slowly but surely transformed into a dangerous hazard. As I stepped off the porch, my right foot snagged on the edge of a loose brick, and in what felt like the blink of an eye, I was tumbling forward, face first, directly towards my rose bushes. I managed to catch myself, barely, but came away with a nasty bruised shin and a startling wake-up call I have never forgotten. That fall wasn't because I was clumsy, it happened because I was wearing the wrong shoes for the woman I had become. You see, our feet undergo significant changes as we gracefully age, a fact that, curiously, nobody ever really tells you about. The protective fat pads that once cushioned every step begin to thin out. The strong arches that supported us through decades of life start to flatten, tendons become a little tighter, bones a bit more brittle, and our natural balance no longer compensates in the nimble way it once did. What this all means is quite profound. The very shoes that worked perfectly for you at 35 may, in fact, be quietly sabotaging your stability at 65 or 70. They might look the same, feel wonderfully familiar, and even seem utterly harmless, but they are no longer providing the essential support your feet now desperately need. And that crucial lack of support can very subtly, quietly, and most dangerously undermine your balance without you even realizing it. Let's delve into some specifics about footwear. Slip-on shoes like those beloved flats or worn-out old slippers are among the biggest culprits when it comes to falls. They offer virtually no structural support, no arch support to speak of, very little grip, and absolutely no stability around your ankle. The sole is typically too thin to absorb shock effectively, and they have an unfortunate tendency to slide treacherously on hardwood or tiled floors. I honestly used to wear mine around the house all day, genuinely believing they were the safest option. I now know much better. I've personally witnessed this happen to friends too. My dear neighbour Margaret, a vibrant 78-year-old who still bakes the most delicious goods every single weekend, slipped in her own kitchen while wearing a pair of worn-out house shoes. She tragically broke her wrist trying to catch herself, and it took her months to recover, not just physically, but emotionally as well. That fall profoundly shook her confidence in a way none of us saw coming. The sobering truth is that at our age, just one fall can irrevocably change everything. A fractured hip or a twisted ankle is not merely a physical injury. It can lead to complex surgery, extensive rehabilitation, a heartbreaking loss of independence, and even bouts of depression. That's precisely why choosing the right footwear is about far more than just comfort. It is fundamentally about your protection, your dignity, and maintaining your way of life. So, what exactly should you look for in a truly good pair of shoes? First and foremost, seek out a firm, non-slip sole, something with genuine, reliable grip. This is especially vital if your home features hardwood or tile floors, or if you frequently navigate outdoor steps. Look for shoes that incorporate memory foam insoles or supportive heel cups, which are designed to help absorb impact and cradle your foot's natural shape. Interestingly, a slight heel lift can actually be more beneficial than a completely flat shoe, as it aids in distributing your weight properly. Next, choose shoes that provide some structure around the ankle, not stiff or restrictive, but secure enough to gently hug the back of your heel and prevent your foot from slipping out as you walk. And if you're going to wear shoes inside the house, which I strongly advocate for, please skip those floppy slippers. Instead, opt for indoor shoes with sturdy rubber soles or supportive slip-ons specifically designed for enhancing balance and proper foot alignment. And no, they absolutely do not have to look orthopedic, I promise you. There are so many wonderful brands available now that beautifully blend comfort, crucial support, and genuine style. I recently found a pair of supportive walking shoes in a lovely soft blush color with a subtle gold trim. They feel like walking on clouds and are stylish enough that my granddaughter would probably want to borrow them. Wearing the right shoes makes an incredible world of difference. I don't just walk differently now, I carry myself differently. There's a quiet, newfound confidence that comes from the comforting knowledge that your feet are truly grounded and stable beneath you. And when I bend down to tie my laces, I'm not just tying shoes, I'm consciously choosing safety, I'm actively choosing independence. So, please, take a moment to look into your closet today. Are your current shoes truly supporting you, or are they silently working against your stability? If you've had a frightening moment like mine, or if you've been relying on those old, worn-out house slippers for a bit too long, drop a number 1 in the comments and let me know. I'm right there with you on this journey. And don't forget to subscribe for more truly practical tips that genuinely matter, because sometimes the smallest changes, like investing in a better pair of shoes, can make the absolute biggest difference in how you confidently move through the world. Stay steady, stay strong, and please stay with me, because we're just getting started. Our next significant oversight is often found in skipping crucial strength training. When I was a younger woman, I honestly used to believe that strength training was exclusively for bodybuilders, or those formidable athletes gracing magazine covers, you know, the ones in tight gym clothes, lifting impossibly heavy weights with veins visibly popping from their arms. So, when I entered my 60s, I naturally assumed I didn't need any of that rigorous activity. I remained active around the house. I walked my dog faithfully. I cleaned. I gardened. Surely that was enough exercise, right? But something subtle yet persistent began to shift slowly, almost imperceptibly. Getting out of a low chair started to demand noticeably more effort. Climbing stairs would leave my legs feeling surprisingly tired and weak. And then one day, I dropped something on the floor, and to my dismay, I had to pause and truly think about how I would manage to get back up again. That was the moment my doctor gently introduced a word I had never truly paid attention to before: sarcopenia. It sounds like a fancy medical term, but it describes something very simple and devastatingly real: age-related muscle loss. This process actually begins in our 30s, then steadily picks up speed in our 50s, and by the time we gracefully reach 70, we can potentially lose up to a staggering 30% of our vital muscle mass if we don't actively work to preserve and rebuild it. And here's the crucial point: this muscle loss isn't simply because we're getting old. It's primarily because our muscles are no longer being sufficiently used and challenged. Strength doesn't vanish overnight in a dramatic flash. It quietly slips away when we stop challenging our bodies, when we trade active squats for overly soft, sedentary chairs, and when we cease lifting anything heavier than our morning coffee mug. But here's the truly wonderful news, and I sincerely want you to hear this with your whole heart. You can absolutely get it back. You don't need an expensive gym membership, nor do you need to lift anything heavy or intimidating. You simply need a little bit of your time, a small dose of consistency, and the willingness to just start small. Allow me to share the inspiring story of my friend Ellen. She's 74 years young and lives happily alone. For many years, she consciously avoided stairs, struggled significantly with carrying her groceries, and felt a pervasive nervousness every time she had to step off the sidewalk. Then, during a local senior wellness class, she bravely tried something remarkably simple: gentle squats next to a sturdy chair, starting with just 5 repetitions. That was it, a tiny, manageable beginning. Over the next few weeks, she gradually added wall push-ups, started lifting small soup cans as light weights during her favorite TV show, and incorporated light resistance band pulls to strengthen her arms. She even discovered a wonderful YouTube channel that offered gentle exercise routines specifically tailored for people her age. She committed herself to just 15 minutes, 3 times a week, and the change was truly remarkable. She stands noticeably taller now, her steps are far more confident and assured, and she no longer needs any help whatsoever getting out of her comfortable recliner. And incredibly, when she tripped on her garden hose last month, she didn't fall. Her strengthened body allowed her to gracefully catch herself. That's the profound power of strength. It doesn't just make you look good, it can quite literally save you from serious injury. When your legs are stronger, you possess the ability to recover from an unexpected stumble. When your arms are stronger, you can effectively break a fall or instinctively catch yourself. And when your core is strong, you move through life with far more control and significantly less fear. Strength is much more than just physical, it's deeply emotional. It represents the vital difference between relying entirely on others or truly trusting in your own capabilities. So if you're wondering where to begin this empowering journey, here are some incredibly easy ways to get started right now. Chair squats. Stand directly in front of a sturdy chair. Slowly lower yourself down as if you're going to sit, then gently rise back up again. Wall push-ups. Face a wall. Place your hands shoulder width apart and gently push your body in and out. Arm curls. Use light hand weights or even those trusty soup cans. Lift them slowly and deliberately while seated or standing. Resistance bands. These are wonderfully inexpensive and incredibly effective tools. You can use them to gently work your arms, shoulders, or legs, even while sitting comfortably. Don't stress at all about how many repetitions you can do. Simply start with 5 and gradually build up to 10. Celebrate every single bit of your progress. You are absolutely not too old, you are not too weak, and it is certainly not too late to begin. So many of us were mistakenly told that aging inevitably means slowing down, stepping back, and always being careful. But what if aging is actually the perfect time to grow stronger on your terms? If you've been putting off strength training, I sincerely hope this moment is your personal call to action. Let me know in the comments with a number 1 if you're ready to take that empowering first small step. I'll be here cheering you on every inch of the way, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want more safe, simple strategies to help you stay strong, fiercely independent, and wonderfully active. Remember, your incredible strength is still there, patiently waiting for you to reach for it. Our third silent hazard often lies in ignoring subtle vision changes. It happened one night around 2 a.m. The house was shrouded in complete darkness, utterly quiet, and my husband Jerry was fast asleep beside me. I didn't want to disturb him by flicking on the bright lights, so I did what I always did. I tiptoed my familiar way to the bathroom, confidently trusting that my memory and my feet would unerringly guide me. But that night, they didn't. As I rounded the corner, I missed the edge of the rug by just a fraction of an inch, but it was enough to send me stumbling violently into the wall, my arms flailing wildly to catch myself. I didn't fall, thank goodness, but my heart pounded uncontrollably for hours afterward, and the deep bruise on my thigh was a stark reminder of how incredibly lucky I had been. At first I blamed myself, thinking perhaps I was just tired or hadn't been paying enough attention, but the truth was far simpler and more profound. I simply couldn't see clearly enough. What I hadn't fully grasped was just how much my vision had profoundly changed with age. And I'm not just talking about needing reading glasses for the morning newspaper. As we gracefully get older, our eyes undergo subtle, silent changes that significantly impact our world. We gradually lose peripheral vision, that crucial awareness that helps us notice things out of the corner of our eye. Our depth perception also weakens, making it increasingly challenging to accurately judge how close something truly is. And perhaps most dangerously, our vital ability to see in low light dramatically fades, especially when transitioning between dark and brightly lit spaces. That's precisely why so many falls tragically occur at night, in familiar hallways, during late-night bathroom trips, or simply while moving from the bedroom to the kitchen. You're not clumsy. Your eyes are simply no longer providing your brain with the accurate, timely information it needs to keep you safely upright. After my frightening near fall, I promptly scheduled an eye exam for the first time in 4 long years, and it turned out my prescription had changed quite significantly. No wonder I had been feeling so disoriented in dim light. I got brand new glasses, this time with a special anti-glare coating to greatly assist with night vision, and lenses that were specifically designed to enhance contrast indoors. What an incredible difference it made. Suddenly, I could see steps with remarkable clarity. I noticed shadows before I stepped into them, and I instantly felt so much steadier and more secure on my feet. And then I made one more crucial change. I dramatically improved the lighting throughout my home. I installed motion-activated nightlights in the hallway and bathroom, swapped out old, inefficient bulbs for warm, low-glare LED lights, and even added a small, easily accessible lamp by my bed that I can switch on with just a gentle tap. Now, when I get up at night, I'm not fumbling and moving in treacherous darkness. I'm moving with reassuring clarity. If you haven't had your eyes thoroughly checked in a while, please let this be your urgent reminder. This isn't just for comfortable reading or safe driving. It is absolutely vital for your personal safety and balance. Ask your eye doctor specifically about lenses designed to reduce glare, dramatically improve contrast, and provide enhanced support for aging eyes. Make it a habit to clean your glasses often and promptly replace any scratched or damaged lenses. And please, don't feel silly or embarrassed about adding a few extra, strategically placed lights around your house, because the profound truth is, vision is balance. Your eyes send critical information to your brain about where your body is positioned in space. And when that vital signal is cloudy, inaccurate, or delayed, your risk of falling dramatically increases. So please do not ignore what you can't clearly see. You have far too much beautiful life ahead of you to be held back by something as easily fixable as poor lighting or an outdated pair of glasses. If this story resonates deeply with you, or if you've had a close call in the dark, drop a number 1 in the comments so I know I'm not alone in this experience. And make sure to subscribe for more practical tips to keep you safe, steady, and wonderfully confident as you move through each and every day, because seeing clearly is truly the first foundational step to standing strong and secure. Our fourth common pitfall is the crucial act of not monitoring medication side effects with enough vigilance. A few months ago, my dear friend Linda started a new blood pressure medication. She's 72, as sharp as a tack, still drives herself to the library every Thursday, and bakes the absolute best banana bread on the entire block. When her doctor prescribed something new to help with her occasional lightheadedness, she didn't think twice. After all, she completely trusted her doctor, and why wouldn't she? But a few days into the new medication, something just didn't feel quite right. Linda began to notice that the room seemed to spin ever so slightly when she got up from the couch. She felt slower, a bit foggier, almost like her head wasn't entirely present in the room. She initially brushed it off, thinking perhaps she hadn't eaten enough, or maybe it was just the summer heat, or perhaps she was simply tired. But then, one unsettling morning, she stood up too quickly and nearly stumbled right into her heavy coffee table. That was her undeniable wake-up call. What Linda didn't realize, and what many of us sadly overlook, is that our bodies process medications very differently as we gracefully age. After 60, changes in our liver, kidneys, and even our body fat composition can cause medications to build up unexpectedly in our system or behave in unpredictable ways. A dosage that worked perfectly fine at 50 might suddenly become far too strong and disorienting at 70. And when you're taking more than one medication, which most of us are, the potential interactions can become complicated and dangerous very quickly. Some of the most common culprits behind unexpected balance problems are surprisingly widespread. Blood pressure medications, sleep aids or sedatives, antidepressants or anti-anxiety drugs, and even seemingly harmless over-the-counter remedies like cold medicine or allergy pills. These medications can unfortunately cause dizziness, unwelcome drowsiness, or even a profound sense of disorientation, and all it truly takes is just one off-kilter step to send us crashing to the floor. Here's what Linda did absolutely right, and what I wholeheartedly encourage each of you to do as well. She meticulously wrote everything down, every dizzy spell, every foggy moment, even noting how long it lasted and what time of day it occurred. She brought this detailed list, along with every single bottle of medication she was taking, even her vitamins, to her next doctor's appointment. And guess what? Her doctor simply adjusted the dose of one medication, and those troubling dizzy spells completely disappeared within days. It wasn't dramatic, it didn't require switching every single medication she was on. Just one small informed change made all the crucial difference. Here's the empowering truth. You know your body better than anyone else in this world. If something feels even slightly off, if you're suddenly more wobbly, if you feel a little less steady than usual, if you're not quite feeling like your usual self, please listen to that inner voice. Do not dismiss it. Do not simply chalk it up to just getting older. Yes, we age. And yes, we may slow down a bit, but persistent dizziness, fogginess, or sudden imbalance is not something you should quietly live with or endure. Keep a simple notebook. Meticulously track your symptoms. Bring this detailed record to your doctor. Ask questions, even the uncomfortable ones, and advocate fiercely for yourself until you feel right again. You absolutely deserve to feel alert, steady, and safe in your own body. Do not settle for anything less than that profound sense of well-being. If you've ever experienced a moment similar to Linda's, or if you're currently wondering whether your medications might be affecting your balance, please drop a number 1 in the comments. You are truly not alone in these concerns. And don't forget to subscribe for more simple, life-changing health tips, because sometimes just one honest conversation with your doctor can be the key to keeping you safely on your feet and confidently in control of your wonderful life. You have a profound say in how you age. Let your wise voice be heard. Our 5th mistake involves a common coping mechanism that can paradoxically increase our risk of falling, holding onto furniture instead of using a proper cane or walker. For years, my friend Rose steadfastly refused to use a cane. She's 76, incredibly proud, fiercely independent, and as she often quips with a playful wink, not ready to look like someone who needs help. So instead of embracing a cane or walker, she developed her own elaborate system, what she fondly called wall walking. This involved constantly holding onto kitchen countertops, bracing herself against chairbacks, and reaching desperately for door frames whenever the room felt a little wobbly. It worked for a while, until one fateful afternoon, it didn't. Rose was carrying a large laundry basket from her bedroom to the living room, both hands completely full, leaving no free arm to steady herself. As she turned the corner near her hallway, she tragically lost her balance and nearly went down hard, slamming into the unforgiving side of her heavy oak table. She caught herself, barely, but the sheer shock of how quickly it happened left her profoundly shaken for days afterward. That terrifying moment changed her perspective forever. You see, furniture is simply not designed to hold you up reliably. It doesn't move seamlessly with you, and crucially, It's not always within reach precisely when you need it most. The sobering truth is, relying on walls or chairs to steady your balance isn't a solid safety plan, it's a dangerous gamble with your well-being. However, I completely understand the deep hesitation many of us feel. So many of us grew up mistakenly believing that needing a cane signified getting old, giving up, or displaying weakness. We often imagine that people will look at us differently, that we'll appear frail, vulnerable, and somehow less capable. But here's what I profoundly want you to know, and what Rose eventually came to realize: using a cane or a walker isn't giving in. It's actually taking charge of your safety and your independence. A good, properly fitted cane does far more than just offer physical support. It grants you invaluable freedom. The freedom to move confidently without constant fear, to walk taller with a sense of purpose, and to truly enjoy your outings, your home, and your everyday life without the perpetual need to constantly reach for the nearest wall. And these days, canes are absolutely not one-size-fits-all boring medical devices. You can find one that beautifully suits your unique body and your wonderful personality. They come in lightweight materials with cushioned grips for comfort, adjustable heights for perfect fit, and even elegant prints or sleek modern designs that feel more like stylish accessories than merely medical tools. When Rose finally chose her cane, she picked one with a soft blue floral pattern and a contoured handle that fit perfectly in her palm. She said it gently reminded her of the garden gloves she used to wear. And something truly amazing happened. She didn't feel embarrassed at all. Instead, she felt incredibly empowered. Because now, when she confidently walks into a room, she's not clinging fearfully to walls or frantically scanning for the next thing to hold on to. She walks steady, secure, and with a renewed sense of purpose. And the most surprising part, she says, is that she actually feels younger with her cane because she's no longer moving cautiously or trying to hide her unsteadiness. She's moving confidently with absolutely nothing to prove and nothing to hide. If you've been hesitating to use a cane or walker, I want you to honestly ask yourself this question. Would you rather someone see you with a cane or see you helplessly lying on the floor after a fall? That might sound harsh, but it's a stark reality for far too many. Just one fall can lead to weeks in rehabilitation, a devastating broken hip, the profound loss of independence, and all of it might be entirely avoidable with one smart, courageous choice. So, if you find yourself instinctively grabbing furniture more often than you'd like to admit, maybe it's truly time to reconsider. Look at it not as a surrender to age, but as profound wisdom in motion. If this message speaks to you, if you've ever resisted using support, even when deep down you knew you needed it, drop a number 1 in the comments. You are not alone and you're not weak, you are wise. And be sure to subscribe to this channel for more uplifting, practical insights to help you move through life with unwavering strength, profound dignity, and immense joy. Because courage doesn't always look like standing tall and unsupported. Sometimes it looks like gracefully reaching for the very thing that helps you keep standing at all. Our sixth and final mistake, and arguably the most critical one, is the common tendency to avoid specific balance exercises. I honestly used to think that balance was just something you either inherently had or you simply didn't, much like being naturally good at dancing or effortlessly walking in high heels. If you were born with it, great. If not, you just had to be extra careful throughout life. But then I attended a seniors wellness class at my local community centre, and what I learned that day completely revolutionised the way I understood my own body and its capabilities. I signed up, fully expecting a session filled with light stretching and maybe some gentle yoga. However, the instructor, a lovely and vibrant woman named Carol, who was in her late 70s herself, clearly had other, more impactful plans for us. She started us off with what she casually called simple balance drills. "Let's all stand on one foot for 10 seconds, she cheerfully announced. I smiled to myself, thinking, easy enough. It absolutely was not. Within just 5 seconds, I was wobbling precariously, gripping the back of my chair for dear life, desperately trying not to feel embarrassed. But as I glanced around the room, I saw with relief that I was certainly not the only one struggling, and that's when Carol uttered something that deeply resonated with me and has stuck with me ever since. Balance isn't something you lose because you're old. It's something you lose because you simply stop practicing it. That statement hit me with profound force. For decades, I had never once engaged in an exercise specifically designed to improve my balance. I genuinely believed that simply walking from room to room and navigating my porch steps was sufficient. But the undeniable truth is, balance is a skill, just like strength, flexibility, or coordination. And if you don't actively work on it, like any other skill, it inevitably fades away. The wonderfully encouraging news is that it is never too late to build it back, regardless of your age. Carol then taught us a few incredibly simple and effective exercises that anyone can easily incorporate into their daily routine right at home. First, she advised us to stand on one foot for 10 seconds, then calmly switch to the other foot. She emphasized to always hold on to a sturdy chair or countertop if we needed extra support. Next, she had us practice walking heel to toe in a straight line, as if we were walking on a tightrope, really focusing on mindful placement of each foot. Another exercise involved slowly shifting our weight from one foot to the other while keeping both feet planted firmly on the ground, engaging our core for stability. Finally, she encouraged us to practice getting up from a chair without using our hands, building leg and core strength simultaneously. I started incorporating these exercises for just 5 minutes a day, usually while my coffee brewed or while I waited for the laundry cycle to finish. After only a couple of weeks, I noticed truly remarkable changes. I stood noticeably taller, my feet felt significantly more grounded and secure, and I no longer hesitated with apprehension before stepping off a curb or confidently climbing a staircase. My long-lost confidence came flooding back. And that, my dear friends, is the invaluable gift that improved balance gives you. Freedom without fear. There's a pervasive myth that once you reach a certain age, you simply have to accept feeling unsteady and insecure. But that's simply not true. Our bodies still respond to challenges, our nervous system still learns and adapts, and our muscles still strengthen, even when we are in our 70s, 80s, and gloriously beyond. So please do not wait for a fall to make balance a paramount priority in your life. Make it a consistent, non-negotiable part of your daily routine, just like brushing your teeth or making your bed. You don't need fancy, expensive equipment, just a little bit of clear space, a few minutes of your time, and a genuine willingness to simply begin. You can find excellent guided balance routines right here on YouTube, join a welcoming class at your local senior center, or even invite a cherished friend to practice with you once a week. Accountability makes it so much more fun and far less intimidating. If this story resonates with you, if you've never specifically thought to train your balance, but now realize how profoundly important it is, please drop a number 1 in the comments. And while you're here, subscribe to this channel for more gentle, yet incredibly powerful tools to help you live your life fully, fearlessly, and with unwavering stability. Because balance isn't merely physical, it is profound peace of mind. It's the quiet, comforting confidence of knowing that your body has your back, even when the floor beneath you feels a little shaky. If you've made it this far, please take a genuine moment to let all of that information truly sink in. You have just given yourself the immeasurable gift of awareness. We've explored 6 seemingly small mistakes, that's all. But as we've seen, even the smallest daily habits, what shoes we choose to wear, how we habitually move, how clearly we see, what medications we take, and what subtle symptoms we ignore, can quietly yet dramatically shape our safety, our confidence, and our cherished independence. And here's what I want you to remember most profoundly. You are not weak. You are not losing your precious edge. You are simply adapting to a body that has gracefully changed with time, and you are learning how to support it wisely and lovingly. The stark truth is, a fall is never just a stumble. It can tragically take away your mobility, your fundamental freedom, and even your deep sense of self. But by consciously making even one positive change today, you can powerfully protect your future, stand taller with renewed self-assurance, and confidently walk into every single day with a bit more profound peace of mind. So tell me, which of these 6 crucial mistakes surprised you the most? Was it the shoes, the subtle vision changes, or perhaps the unexpected impact of medication? Leave a comment below and bravely share your story. You truly never know who you might help simply by opening up and sharing your experiences. And if this video gave you a fresh, new perspective, if you felt truly seen or empowered, or just a little more hopeful about your future, please hit that subscribe button right now. This channel is lovingly here for you, offering honest, practical advice that genuinely honors your life and your unique journey. And one last, very important thing, if you want these kinds of thoughtful tips delivered straight to your inbox, with no annoying ads and no clutter, simply sign up for our Savvy Senior newsletter. It's completely free, wonderfully friendly, and packed full of helpful guidance just like this. Because staying steady, strong, and safe should never feel overwhelming. It should always feel profoundly possible, and together we are absolutely making it so. Thank you for spending this valuable time with me. Please take such good care of yourself. Your future self will eternally thank you.